Welcome to the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health's monthly magazine, Meeting of the Minds. I'm Karen Zarcidias. In this month's Mental Health Minute, it's hard to feel blue when you're dancing. A study done at the University of New England and published in the journal Complementary Therapies in Medicine suggests doing the tango can help those who are feeling stressed and depressed. Researchers studied more than 60 people for 6 weeks who reported high levels of anxiety, stress, and/or depression. In that group, some took tango classes, while the remaining participants became the control group that was placed on a waiting list. After 6 weeks, the tango students showed decreased levels of stress, more so than those on the waiting list. Researchers believe the results show that dance is an effective means of reducing stress rather than sitting still. That's mainly because participants are dancing for exercise and remain focused on the present moment so they can perform those very complicated dance moves. Hope, Wellness, and Recovery is our department's motto. With more about what DMH is up to, here's a message from our director, Dr. Marvin Southard.
I think everyone knows that relationships are sometimes a particular source of stress. Further, close relationships are often the place where symptoms of mental illness first make themselves known. Anxiety and depression can lead a person to withdraw from loving relationships, become irritable or touchy, or just seem remote and far away. If a loved one has been under stress and shows these symptoms, mental illness may be the cause. What is less well known is that relationships are an important part of the cure for an episode of mental illness. The instinct to isolate or push people away when we are feeling sad or anxious is a big mistake. Other people are an important part of the healing process. The bottom line? Patience all around is a part of the prescription when someone we know suffers from a mental illness.
Thank you, Dr. Southard. We like to share stories and tips on wellness and recovery on this show. With more about this in our Walk the Talk segment, here's Kathleen Pichet.
Thank you, Karen. My guest today is Christine Miranda. Christine Miranda has had a long history of living with schizophrenia, experiencing delusions that pushed her out onto a ledge and caused her to become conserved. It seemed that every time someone close to her died, Christine had a psychotic break and was hospitalized. At one point, Christine was catatonic for 6 months on a locked inpatient unit, where she was written off as deaf, mute, and gravely disabled. Christine was told by officials she'd be locked up for good, but was eventually released with no place to go. She became homeless and was living in a hotel when she decided to turn her life around. Today, Christine is educated, working as a peer counselor, and is happily married. Welcome to the show, Christine.
Thank you.
At what point, going from such extremes, did you really turn your life around?
Well, the point that really turned my life around, because I was homeless. I was living I had one pair of pants, one shirt, and I was homeless, but it was my faith that really turned things around. It's when I had nothing and nobody to lean on and nobody to turn to. I had absolutely nothing, but I had one thing, and that was hope.
Right, and your minister actually did come and pick you up and take you to
Yes,
church.
Pastor Sadie Sanchez from By His Grace Ministry, he would come pick me up and take me to church every 3 times a week.
And I think that you told me before that's what really helped you.
It really did.
So if you had the resources and support, you were determined to get better.
I was very determined to get better.
And look at you today. What types of treatment did you get that you felt were really helpful for you?
What really was helpful for me, my treatment, was going to USC Hospital. Dr. Shamides is in charge of that department, and he's a good therapist. He listened to me and treated me like a human being. He took the time to talk to me, and he helped me get through a lot of difficult situations, helped me get the support. Like if I needed certain finances, he helped me get my Section 8, he helped me get my in-home service, he helped me get things that helped me be a better person.
So there was a lot of support
A lot of
that you
support
needed.
from my doctor, a lot of support from my pastor, a lot of support from his support groups.
Do you still go to support groups?
Oh yes, I go to a support group called Pastor Mercado Ministries. It's a support group that meets once a month at Church of the Redeemer. I go to a support group with the USC with my therapist.
So going from such an extreme from being catatonic to today, and I know that you got married last year, and
Yes.
you live in a big house, and you have 2 cars.
Yes.
You're doing better than a lot of other people.
Yes.
Do you really credit that with all the support that you've gotten from people around you and your own self-determination?
Yes, a lot of support. NAMI has been a very good support system for me. NAMI educated me on my mental illness. NAMI helped support me. I do a lot of volunteer work with NAMI, with In Your Own Voice and different things. NAMI's been a very good support group, as well as my therapist at USC, doctor.
Yeah. What's the most important thing been for you in your recovery?
It's my faith.
Is your faith?
It's my faith.
How important is giving back to you now?
Giving back is very important to me. I volunteer today at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, Protestant Chaplain Services, and I go in and I volunteer my services. I work today as a peer counselor with the Department of Mental Health, as a peer counselor, where I help my peers and people who are disabled like myself. I love giving back with NAMI, doing In Your Own Voice presentations, and just wherever I'm being used, if it's in my church or if it's
What
in
would you tell someone else if they were where you were 10 years ago?
If they were where I am, where they were homeless and when they were out without hope, is to have, first of all, to seek, to go to a therapist, find a hospital or a therapist that will listen to them and take their medication, most of all. Because without medication, a lot of times we feel that we're well and we don't need our medication anymore. But that's not true. It's the medication that makes us well. And we must take our medication, listen to the therapist, see them and have a belief system in a higher power.
What does hope mean to you?
Hope means believing in something greater than yourself that can restore you to sanity. Hope means faith.
Thanks. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Oh,
for
I
being on
enjoyed
Washington
being here.
Time.
It was a pleasure and honor. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Back to Karen.
Thank you, Kathleen. And that's the show for this month's edition of Meeting of the Minds. To learn more about the Department of Mental Health and for more information about DMH's programs and resources, you can always visit the website anytime at dmh.lacounty.gov. You can also follow us on our Facebook page and watch our Profiles of Hope videos and PSAs on YouTube. Just search for the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health or LAC DMH. And if you or someone you know is in need of help, you can call our 24/7 access line at 1-800-854-7771. That's 1-800-854-7771. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.